10:01, and I am going to call the meeting to order. Roll call. Present, sorry.
Here.
Here. Here.
We do have a quorum. 1.3 Pledge of Allegiance and salute the Texas flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Testimony from presenters, please be advised that you are here today to present and you are under oath.
Test. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Excuse me. Public comments. 1.6 Approval of minutes of regular meeting October 27, 2025.
Subject to no correction, so moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona,
Second.
second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 2.1, Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, Dimmit County introduces Prairie View Extension Agent, Ms. Julieta Leija.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Judge and Commissioner. Today we have Dr. White with us today with Prairie View A&M Extension, and she is the state program leader for Prairie View. I'll go ahead and let her take the floor so she can introduce herself as well.
Good morning. I just want to say thank you all for allowing Prairie View A&M University to serve the clientele here in Dimmit County. We will be doing education workshops, of course, free of charge, in parenting, money management, nutrition, health and wellness, all of those life skill areas where sometimes we need a little bit more help, a little bit more information. Just to let you all know that, well, this is our first time here in Dimmit County. However, in the Maverick County, in Laredo, Webb County, we also have extension agents who've been there for probably about 14 years or so, especially within Webb County. And we've been doing programs within my unit, Family Community Health. We're in 33 Texas counties, and we have served over 140,000 just in education workshops doing programming throughout the state. And we do a series of workshops so that we get to see some behavior change, especially within the nutrition or the parenting life skills areas. And I brought some little gifts here for you guys from Prairie View University, as well as introducing Miss Julia, who is the Prairie View's extension agent here in this county for all of the clientele. And you all have any questions for me?
Thank you, Dr. White, for being here today.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it for the state of Texas, who has given Prairie View our match. And by that, we're able to hire more extension agents throughout the state of Texas to offer these educational workshops. So thank you all for everything that you're doing for the state of Texas.
Thank you.
That's just a little information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So you all can pour your water into these little mugs and stay
Thank you,
hydrated.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And welcome.
3.1 Approval of bonds. 3.2 Discussion and appropriate action, approval for constructing a wireless communications tower for T-Mobile tower will be suitable for 3 additional carriers, branch towers 6. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
I don't know if you want to, you can take the mic out or maybe extend it. We're a little shorter on this side of the state of Texas, so. Is it on?
I can talk loud, I mean, if y'all can hear me okay.
One thing that don't believe the
Hello?
people that they're taking care. Some of us were showing.
He's saying, don't believe that statement that says everything in Texas is bigger because some of them grew short.
Pretty short, yeah.
If you can just please state your name for the record.
Okay. My name is Cole Talbot, and I am the site development agent here representing Branch Towers.
And today you're here, Mr. Talbot, to request approval, is that what you're asking?
Yes, we are asking for approval for the communications tower. It's the 205-foot self-support tower with T-Mobile as what we call our anchor tenant. And then the tower would be suitable for 3 additional full-size carriers, meaning Verizon, AT&T, potentially some rural internet, or even county repeaters and so forth could be placed on the tower as well in the future.
And where is this located?
So the address is 554 3rd Street in Asherton, Texas. It's just on the east side of Asherton there. And I did submit our construction drawings, and it does have the 911 address listed on the top of the first page there, I believe. Including a survey as well.
Commissioner, where exactly is this? It looks like it, right?
Did you say Bell? Yeah, Bell is the property owner.
Is Burt Bell?
Bert Bell, yes.
Are there any questions?
One tower will be placed there, or more?
Just one tower,
Okay,
yes.
The other 2 towers, where are their locations?
No, so this is, that would be for co-locations, meaning that the antennas that those companies use could be mounted on this one tower. So the tower would be suitable to hold multiple sets of antennas. But it's just one structure.
Are there any other questions? I would entertain a motion.
Motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Odena,
Second.
second by Commissioner Alonso Carmona. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. And then will we need, is there another application or anything that we need? Will we receive approval from?
When you get the minutes, the clerk's office will have that information for you.
Okay, all right, thank you so much.
Three point three, discussion and appropriate action, follow-up request for supporting permitting and state grant support ISS Mining One LLC.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Commissioners.
How are you?
I don't know if you can hear me or not. I gotta do this because there's a few of us today. You asked us for our names for the record. My name is Tom Flake with ISS Mining.
Charles Clem with ISS Mining.
And Chris Flores with Blue Bonnet Fiber.
And I'm Jared Huckabee with ISS Mining.
I'm Wyatt Simcoe with Blue Bonnet Fiber.
Yes.
You
And-
said Jared Huckabee,
Yes, ma'am.
and tell me Wyatt, your last name Wyatt?
Simcoe.
So Commissioners, Judge, we appeared before you about 6 weeks ago, introduced ourselves and discussed at that time the idea of creating a MOU between our company and the county. We're here following up with that today, and we brought with us some friends of ours, partners now in a joint venture with Lubon Fiber. We promised you that we would engage with local businesses when we were here last. This is part of fulfillment of that promise, and we figured we'd let them say a few words real quick.
Mr. Flores, you've been here before, correct?
Yes,
I
yes.
remember you.
So the reason why we're here again is because we've been, working on USDA funds to bring to the county, and obviously you guys know there was a delay there. So we haven't given up, and I was talking to the commissioner. We have big plans for big wells, and one of the plans is to bring fiber from San Antonio all the way to Laredo to straight through big wells. So we haven't given up, and one of the ways we figured, how do we get past this? It's looking for companies like this. These guys are the data center. We talked about, I think I was talking to you, Commissioner Valerie, about possibly bringing in data centers. And that was a while ago when we first met, but they're here. These are the guys we're talking about. And there's other counties that are doing it successfully today, and they're doing well. And we hope to bring that to Dimmit County. And I just wanted to let you guys know that we're partners with these guys, and they're going to support us, and we're going to support them, and we want to really bring some value to Dimmit counties, specifically big wells.
And Mr. Flores, in regards to when you say you guys are partners, and what aspect of your business is ISS mining working in collaboration with you? How will you guys work with each other?
What? Yeah.
So ISS Mining is engaging us as the certificated telecommunications provider to bring that connectivity from San Antonio to big wells and then down to Laredo. So we focus on that regional, infrastructure construction. We're bringing it to them to use.
So you're providing the resource that they need to develop.
Specifically, multiple terabits of connectivity so that all of their traffic demands are met for, the well forecasted future.
Other questions? You have a question, Commissioner Talamantes?
I'm trying to read over the pamphlet that was given to us. I don't know if you guys know, but they handed out these pamphlets at the beginning of the Commissioner's Court. And so it had some information in here regarding the, so I see that the location has moved from before, and now it's going to be located in Midland. I will say that, and not so much a question, or I guess I could state it as a question. How far are you guys in using recycled water?
So I think when we testified last, we told you that the usage would be between 250,000 and 500,000 gallons a day. We've refined that a little bit in the last 6 weeks. We think it'll be about 300,000 gallons a day, but I will tell you that the ability to reuse or recycle the water that we extract, we're going to continue to work on that. And that sounds like a squishy answer. It's not meant to be. The technology associated with data centers is improving so quickly that 6 months to 12 months from now, we have a reasonable expectation we'll be able to cut that number in half. And that expectation stems from the fact that if you were to have interviewed us 5 years ago on data centers, I would have told you we would have used 1 million to 1.25 million gallons a day. The technology's improved that drastically. It continues to improve. But our best estimates today are about 300,000 gallons a day, but that should decrease over time.
And that is one of my concerns, being here in Dimmit County and surrounding counties. We're in a severe drought right now. How much of the water do we anticipate as a percentage loss through the recycling process? Because 300,000 gallons of water is quite a bit, but you're going to have a percentage loss on that water capability. What are we looking at the percentage that we're going to lose on water?
Any answer I would give you, Commissioner, would be an educated guess at this point. I would say that I'd be happy to have that discussion. The next phase of our operation is to do full engineering for the site specific. That should be, if everything goes according to the time schedule we've laid out in March, I'll be happy to commit to reappear here and tell you guys exactly what the numbers engineer out to be, and what we'll do to improve on that number. But right now, my best guess is about 300,000 gallons a day.
But you can understand my concern.
I do.
My constituents are gonna ask, what are we doing to prevent from losing water? And I gotta have an answer, and I know we're not gonna have it right away, but I gotta have an answer because what is it? And we understand the aquifer is quite a bit large, but again, nobody knows how large is that aquifer.
And is this the Curry's aquifer?
It is, yes, ma'am.
Because
So,
San Antonio is getting water, I know some other entities, agencies are getting water, but at the same token, we don't wanna leave Dimmit County high and dry.
100% agree with you, Commissioner, because ultimately, we're going to be living here as we work on this project. What I will tell you, though, is that the property that we've now contracted for has over 3 million gallons per day of well capacity on site. We're not talking about drilling new wells. And that site has been used to supply fracking water in the past and has been used to supply road construction water currently, and to no ill effects on the Carrizo Aquifer.
No, I understand
Right.
the fact,
Yeah.
but again, you know, we're told within the oil field, they inject water and we get so much back, but really how much are they injecting and how much are we getting back?
Well, the question of not water.
And I know you have nothing to do with it, but at the same token, I am concerned because there's no rain coming in. There's nothing good. And whatever rain we get, it's a sweat water rain. There's nothing that's gonna last here for days to be embedded into our soil. It's just a rush of water. If they can take, Dimmit County's gonna get 12 inches of water, almost, I'm gonna guarantee 90% of that's runoff.
So, Commissioner, I would ask you, in exchange for the economic development we will bring, the jobs we'll create, et cetera, what is an acceptable use of water on that?
This is something I'm learning with y'all, like.
Yeah.
This is something that I've done research on. As we're going through, you gotta understand, the commissioners here, the court is gonna have questions on that.
From
I
your
can tell you,
constituents.
okay, use 300,000 gallons of water, but I'm gonna get $280,000. I mean, 280,000 gallons back. We don't know.
That's correct, sir. And so the reason I asked the question the way I did was because I don't know if it's, I don't know what your if you can give me an achievable target, I can engineer for that. If I don't know what the achievable target is, it's harder for me to answer an open-ended question the way I posed
I
it.
don't know how your business wants to.
So, real quick, just nonetheless, in abundance of time, Mr. Flake, I am going to recommend the court to, us to table this matter simply because I am in communication with Mr. Kimbrough, who normally is our attorney when it comes to tax abatements, and I have discussed it with him. I know that on the memo of understanding, you had requested for Dimmit County to consider the Chapter 312 tax abatement for this project. It's part of the contract that you're asking us to sign in your support. And with that being said, there is some legalities that we have to continue discussing with him, given the fact that we do have some prior history in regards to tax abatements with other companies that we've given, and without diving into too much detail, there has been some concerns and issues with those tax abatements and how it affects the county. So I'm going to respectfully at this time ask the court if they have any other questions, they can ask them, but in abundance of time, I would ask for a motion to table so that our outside counsel can continue to look at the memo of understanding in regards to some of the legalities in that MOU.
I just, if I may have the opportunity.
I thought you said you were going to say something, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I went, because I wanted to say something too, but I'll wait.
Sir, I understand your request at this time. And going back to what you mentioned, Commissioner, what would be a proper amount, you know, as from where we stand, water being such a
Scarce.
issue, in other areas, between fracking, between your line of business, and between other communities within our surrounding area coming after our aquifer. I'd probably shoot for the lowest amount possible, engineering the slowest amount possible, and recycling the most possible. Because water is, at this point, fixing to turn into a most valuable asset, even above oil. The commissioner just mentioned, we're not getting the rain, and everybody's using the water, so at one point or another, not just you, not just us, everybody entirely is going to feel the repercussions of this, and at that point, we're probably going to be thinking we should have done something to control the situation now, and not allow ourselves to get into it. So that's the only thing I wanted to say, just please keep that water situation really focused on that, and keep in mind that that's probably going to be your toughest challenge for that at this point.
So,
Go ahead, I was gonna jump in and just say a couple quick things real quick, but
Okay,
go ahead.
so I do have to piggyback off of a little bit of what Commissioner Miranda, as you know, is that we live here. I know that y'all guys plan to come down, but at the end of the day, we have to have these answers. I do, and I have done some researching into the company. When we last spoke, I took the pamphlet with me every time we went to training, and we definitely asked as much questions as we could ask. We do know that this is inevitable, and y'all guys can proceed without the blessing of the court, but obviously, for us, it's a little difficult and challenging when we walk outside these courtrooms and we get challenged with questions why we're limiting ranchers as to what they can pull, what they can sell, what they can do. And it really has to balance out for us. It means, because how he just said, water's about to start becoming a hot commodity ticket. It's going to be more expensive than the oil and gas and everything else. And the Carrizo Aquifer is definitely something that we have to protect when we're down here. And it's something that's caught a lot of attention from the residents that are out here. So I do know that y'all guys are on the brinks of learning how to recycle this water, but a consumption of 1 glass of water for generated information is pretty high even for me. And so if it's something that we are going to jump into feet first, because again, I know that this intelligence upgrade is inevitable. It's going to happen. I know that it's going to keep pushing forward. I've gotten information down from Washington where they're even speaking the same thing. There's a lot of concerns and questions that they have in Washington that we have here in little, Dimmit County. So I think that as we go forward, just making sure that we're clear and we're transparent and I know you guys have done that so far, of how much usage is, but I do definitely think that the water issue is going to be one of our main topics, because in 5-10 years, we know that AI is going to continue to elevate and increase, but there's no elevate and increasing, so the needs have to outweigh the cost of what you can provide and what is going to be depleted of our resources. But that was just on my end.
Sure. You guys mind if I one second? Okay, so just a little follow-up to where we are in this process, and I do want to interject and say that we are this information and the questions you're asking absolutely have to be answered. My particular role in this company is the economic development and the communication between the local environment and authorities and people. We are putting one of these in the town that I live in. Our town is roughly about 1/7 the size of you guys in Georgia. So yes, I'm very aware of you having to answer your constituents, because the thing is, you're not going to answer to them here, you're going to answer to them at dinner tomorrow or at the grocery store and these kind of things, and they're going to call you and come to your, I get that 100%. So one of the things I want to say is that the part of this process we are right now. So we have this property under contract. There's a due diligence for this contract, right? So at some point that runs out, and then we have to move on to a separate property. The point we're at now is what we need, and that's what this memorandum of understanding is. It's a non-binding agreement that just says you guys are interested enough for us to do the research to bring you the answers to the questions you want, right? So, but that's when we start putting site surveys and site plans and engineering plans into effect. So now when you ask those questions, we can answer those questions. The point we're at right now, if we spent, the exponential amount of money to figure out those answers for this property, and then you guys are not engaged at all with it, well, we've just completely wasted that, right? So this particular MOU is strictly to move the next step to where now we can actually start getting some funding and start moving some funding toward answering the questions you have. And I will say too, on the tax abatement issue, we have discussed that internally some, and I think you know, more so than say a tax abatement, because here's the brief layman's terminology of this, right? So, you know, that the property as it sits now is worth X amount of dollars. The tax revenue is X amount of dollars. Once we finish that property, you know, the tax revenue is increased by somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.8 million just for that one particular piece of property. What we're asking more so than anything is that that increase doesn't happen until we make that property worth that amount of money. So, and that property gets that increase in value once we're operational, right? So we're not so much asking for a tax abatement to regards of, hey, we don't want to pay taxes. We're just asking that you leave the property taxes what they are now until we actually get operational. And then at that point, now we can pay the higher tax revenue because the facility is profitable at that point. So I would just ask that you maybe don't get too hung up on the tax abatement part of this. Again, as the memorandum of understanding, maybe in that we just make it a point that, hey, we'll sign the memorandum of understanding to move forward with the research and move forward with the site surveys and those kind of things. But, you know, we will negotiate the tax abatement alongside the job creation, alongside the additional tax revenue that comes in from payroll taxes and the economic development that comes from this project, that we'll negotiate those things as those things come up, right? Because we may very well provide you data that doesn't suffice for what you need, right? We really think we will provide you data that over meets your expectations as opposed to under, or else we wouldn't be here doing this in the first place. But so like I said, I want to just really stress that the importance of the MOU is nothing but moving forward from this point, which we can't move forward at all without, right? And what we don't want is, you know, the situation where the site we may have found now in Dimmit County, if we can't, because again, we can't purchase that land, right, without knowing, just like you can't approve this project without knowing your answers, we can't purchase the land without knowing ours. So the MOU is at that point, now tells us that, hey, Dimmit County's work is wanting to know more about this. They're interested in this being here as long as it meets their needs. And as long as it you know, you can explain that to your constituents and a win-win for everybody. And so the MOU basically just tells us that, hey, you guys are wanting to know that. You're interested in this as long as it's beneficial for you. And so then we make it beneficial for you.
Well, I understand your fact where you say that it seems that we're concerned with the abatement. I'm not, you know, for me, the abatement comes second. I'm not worried about the abatement.
Right.
Now, my concern is, you made it sound like, and nothing personal or
Sure.
but this is just the way my statement is. That you're gonna say if you get the support of the board or not, we're still not gonna follow. Yes, we're gonna listen to everything that goes on. Because bottom line, we have to answer to our taxpayers. And if we don't take action on whatever project, or we don't ask questions on whatever comes up, then they can come and say,
Absolutely.
hey, y'all didn't do anything about it. We are concerned. We are gonna listen to what your work is gonna be. It's not like the abatement comes first. No, I need to answer to the taxpayers. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? It's not that we're not gonna pay attention even if the abatement has to go through. Our concern is to take care of our citizens of Dimmit County.
Sure.
Not the abatement process or anything. That comes second. To me, my people come first, as I would say.
Correct.
Because their livestock, their whatever they do, and the water resource is more important to our people here in Dimmit County, where we don't want to face challenges that I've seen in the news where towns are running out of water. Counties have to dig different water wells because we're hitting the aquifer so hard that the water's gonna start going down. That is my concern, other than the abatement.
Sure.
I wanna take care of my constituents.
Right, and I 100% understand you're exactly right in doing that. My comment about the abatement was that I didn't want the abatement to hold up the MOU. The MOU getting signed gets us to get your answers. So for instance, you sign an MOU, there's no explanation necessary because nothing has been done at that point, right? So you didn't agree to allow us to do any of this work. You agreed that you were interested in these answers enough for us to now go and get these answers for you. And so that was my regard to the tax abatement, was I didn't want the MOU, the memorandum of understanding, to be hung up on something like a tax abatement. Because what we don't want is a tax abatement issue to stop us from answering those questions that you have, right? So, because again, in the end of the day, a tax abatement is once this facility is up and operational, that's minor details at that point. So, like I said.
I just wanted to know how I feel.
Sure, absolutely. We appreciate it. We appreciate that.
I did have one question for you.
Yep.
I know that you said that the tax abatement that you're looking for isn't something that you're looking for X amount of years to start up. You're looking to freeze basically the value of the property as you develop and get everything up and running. How long do you foresee your development taking you? 2 years?
2 years.
2 years.
And you can look at this from a more, let's look at it as a smaller perspective, right? So you bought a piece of land and you want to build a grocery store on it. Okay, once you build the grocery store, that land's going to be more valuable, so you're going to pay more taxes on that land. Well, until you build the grocery store, you don't have the money coming in from the grocery store to pay for the value of the land that now the grocery store is worth. Very similar situation here. We're not wanting the value of that land to jump to, you know, the massive amount that it will be, you know, before we're able to actually make revenue from that particular project. So that's what I mean as far as, you know, keeping the taxes the way they are until.
Yeah, I understand that, and I think that that's a little bit more easier to digest than asking for a tax abatement for X amount of years. I know that you mentioned that in your town of Georgia, because I believe, was this the company that we had asked to look at another facility that was up and running to kind of mirror and see what they had costing for us? Was that going to still be an option? Because I feel like having that and being able to go to a county that is facing similar development would kind of help put us a little bit at ease and maybe answer some of the questions that.
Let me,
Let Charles.
Chris respond to that.
Yeah.
No, I can tell you that there was, you know, Medina County is probably what you were seeing in the news. And there was a lot of, there was data centers that were built up there back, you know, before these guys had their technology. So I can tell you it's a lot different. It's a lot different. And what they're doing now is their water strategy is totally different. So I would encourage the mayor of Lido, I don't know if you're familiar, but I can have a conversation. Maybe we can set up a call or, you know, video, just so you can kind of understand what they're doing and how they got past the water. Because yeah, I understand that's one of the most important resources, and I'm with you 100%. What brought us together is the fact that they're doing a lot of different things compared to some of those other data centers. And you think about some of the big ones out there, Microsoft's out there, Amazon's out there. These guys were out there, you know, 5+ years. They've been out there for a long time. So a lot of the reasons is their tech back there wasn't as advanced as it is today. So I can tell you it's a little different, but I would not say what your concern is. It's a big concern.
So, with all due respect,
Yes.
I respect that, I don't know that.
Yes.
But you gotta look at it on our part of the region. We're south.
Right.
They get more rain than what we, we're dry. The storms come around here, and I'm not trying to say that the weather works or anything like that, but they're more, as I talked before, on another situation in Austin, I said it's beautiful when rural communities, urban communities and metros get all this amount of water. But we down here in the south, that's totally different aspect than what they have. We don't have the resources. We don't get the rain that they get. And it's wonderful that they get rain. And they have their walking, and they share the off. But over here, you're talking about dryness. The last rain we had, I can't even remember when it was. And we had major flooding because the water did not saturate in the ground. And I'm not going against y'all, but I'm trying y'all to realize the difference between maybe 50 miles from here north compared to 50 miles south of this way.
So just to be clear, the wells and the pumps existing on site service our needs. The site can pull that much water whether we're there or not. He does for fracking, he does for the road construction, I mean, he's got holding tanks of water where it evaporates off the top. I mean, there are things we can do. We put a, an on-site reclaim system. We can mitigate this, and I know that's what you're asking. To the extent, until we have final engineering, I can tell you how much of that water can be mitigated. But it can be a substantial amount. And we also use the water as a renewable resource, meaning we reclaim, we reuse, we capture steam and turn it back into water, we clean it. So just want to make sure we all have the same conception that we're not asking to drill more wells. We're not asking for more water. We're simply using the water that's available.
I understand, constituents are getting reason too, their water well goes dry, and they gotta go dig deep, they gotta dig deep. So, you see for understanding, but, I mean, 300,000 gallons of water, and again, I fight the water issue because I am concerned about our citizens. We have 12 miles from here, going west on 277, they're having water issues with their wells. They
Well,
gotta go deeper. So to me, that means that you're gonna be using more water, what's gonna happen to the other water?
Well, I mean, my response to that would be, would you like me to drill you a deeper well for the city? I mean,
Well, that's not my thing.
these things can be,
One
can
thing
be
will
done.
count.
I don't understand the aquifer is at a certain level. Whether you drill 10 wells or one, it doesn't matter how many wells you drill, it's how much water you're pumping out. The aquifer is at a level, and of course, you're going to be at different levels depending on what part of the territory you're in our region. Your well will be at a certain depth because of your elevation factor. But right now, the concern is how much water you'll be pumping out. If you could come up with a more engineered number, which you must have, obviously you must have, if you're already approached a landowner, and he has to know how much water you're fixing to pump out, so he'll know how much he's fixing to make. If you can come up with a more engineered number as to the utilization and the recycling factor, those two, I personally would feel a lot stronger at moving forward, knowing, because, and you're right, people are not going to ask us here, but they will ask us out at HED, out at Walmart, how much water are they going to use? We have to be able to have some sort of decent answer. If we don't, then we're going to be questioned and scrutinized in regards to the decision that we took. So please, by all means, don't feel that we're against this project. We just are concerned with water. Water consumption and how can we address it the best way. And if you can come up with a good engineered number, then we probably have a different conversation.
So Commissioner, I've listened to everything you've said and to what Jared said, and I've got a recommendation and an explanation, because I think we're talking past each other to a certain degree. And I think the judge will bear this out. If you read through the MOU, it's a non-binding MOU, and it doesn't commit the commission.
Essentially what they're asking from us is essentially the MOU, they call it an MOU, but it's pretty much a letter of support. They're asking us to support what they're doing so that they can get numbers and they can get information.
That's exactly what it is, Judge.
So it's not an MOU.
Well, it's a memorandum of
It's a
understanding.
memorandum. There can be used conversely, the words can be, I mean, you can say MOU, you can say,
I was going over that.
yeah, it's pretty
it is
much,
a letter of support.
that's all it is.
Letter of
If they're asking for a letter of support, and if we sign this MOU/letter of support, it allows them to go out there and try to get grants for them to be able to move forward.
Which we already
with this-
have.
Which
It's
is
just a matter of
project. So that's
our
what this is-
people are looking for.
That's what this is for, that they're here today, is asking for an MOU, which in our terms is pretty much a letter of support, asking for us, saying that we're supporting this business venture so that they can try to go get further funds through grants or whatever it is that they're trying to get, and then come back with those numbers. Because regardless of whether, I think you have mentioned, Commissioner Talamontes, that in some of the trainings you've asked, like, they're gonna do this regardless of whether we approve it or not. You're absolutely correct. They're asking us to support what they're doing so that they can utilize our support to go further on and get further funding for them. they still have to come back
That's
to us.
exactly
If-
right.
they still have
If we come back to
us
you with
for
answers you don't
tax.
like,
Yeah, I mean,
that
they're
stops
still
there.
gonna, they're
Right.
still gonna come
That
back
stops
to us when it comes to the tax abatements
This doesn't bypass
regardless.
the permitting process.
Not at
It
all.
doesn't, yeah, it doesn't bypass any of that stuff. It's just, they're asking for us to support this project so that they can get further funding. And then they'll have to come back regardless
Correct.
if they want to do it or not. Because in order for them to have a tax abatement, the only people that can give a tax abatement is this commission.
Exactly, exactly. And these answers are expensive, okay? So the way we arrive at these is this MOU or letter of support, however you like, that tells our investors, hey, these guys have identified a place that is interested in going further, as long as we can get them the answers that they need, and they're willing to pay for that. And so that's why, that's where this falls in the lineage of where we are at the moment. She's exactly right. We have to come back here afterwards. If we don't have the answer, if we don't have the water solution solved, then that ends there. That ends there. You'll deny our permitting and it ends there.
So Judge,
So-
your recommendation on the table,
Correct.
recommendation different now?
So the table,
I,
I would like to
I have a second by Commissioner Alonso Carmona.
Before we part ways, I wanted to say that for me, the disconnect is translating funding and information. I feel like the information should be kind of flowing freely at this point because how you mentioned is that when we walk out, we have to answer to these people. Kind of simplifying it a little bit, and I know that this isn't going to make much sense because it's not exactly how it's said, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know as much information about the Carrizo Aquifer because I'm not as informed about it right now. But from a resident's point of view, if you live on property, just like Commissioner Carmona says, and your well has gone dry, but then you see another company flourishing, they're automatically going to think, oh, it's because they're allowing them, they're finishing all the water, and now you're adding a cost to our household to dig deeper or to go deeper. So with a letter of support isn't necessarily my issue to not support the project or to not welcome it into our community, but it's most definitely making sure that we have these answers and these information because they're not going to wait for us to go get that. They're going to tell us, well, no, you supported it. You were the one that gave them that letter. And so they're going to demand answers for us, especially when they're looking at their household of what, 15, 20,000 to drill a well deeper than that?
No, it's 20 plus now.
And 20
I have a
plus
well
thousand?
myself at my house.
Okay, so about 20,000 plus, so you can understand where there will be a lot of residents that would be really, really upset with us if their wells run dry, and then they're gonna sit there and be like, well, you supported this, you encouraged this, and now we're dealing with the kickback from it. So I think that the information most definitely should be provided, you know, at free cost without having the resources. I definitely will go out to Lido or reach out to Lido to see what information we can get with that. And before we part ways, I did want to let y'all guys know, especially because y'all guys are taking the interest in Big Wells. Big Wells today is celebrating 115th anniversary, and they will be celebrating from 1:12 to 3:30. So if y'all guys on the way out want to go ahead and stop there should be a lot of people from the community out there. I was also going to say, I think maybe a town hall meeting to kind of inform and update most of the residents might go a long way in helping us come to that conclusion, that decision as well. But other than that, I do wish y'all guys the best of luck, and I hope to hear from y'all guys in the future.
We were actually planning on stopping by Nina's and hopefully stopping by the court, or the city hall on the way out. I do want to make one request of the court real quick, if you all would be willing to. I do have one request of the court, if you all would be willing to agree to call this at the end of the agenda, I may have some additional information that may assist in this decision.
And that would be up to the judge. We don't,
Yeah.
I have a motion by Commissioner Uranda and a second by Commissioner Carmona. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. 3.4, discussion and appropriate action to authorize and establish of a county-supported food pantry in Big Wells utilizing county resources.
Judge, I placed this item on the agenda just in an abundance of caution. I have reached out to all the entities around. I do know that the government opened back up, or is set to open back up, if I'm correct. But I still think that it is needed to have the support and the approval moving forward, just because I still do think that we're going to see a domino effect of citizens and people at need, and I want to make sure that those that don't have resources to travel, this way are provided with the same accommodations as we're rallying together to provide here in Cruises Springs. If anybody has any questions for me, one thing that I did want to clarify is that I do know that the food pantries are at a scarcity right now, and they have vocalized that freebies. So anything that's distributed by commodities wouldn't be anything that I'm distributing out of this food pantry. Commodities and food pantry will be two completely separate things. The only thing that would kind of cross wires with the county was if and when freebies became available, which we're not always picking up every time that they become available, if and when they come be able to have the privilege. Freebies is basically, it runs the same. So commodities, they take in their donations and they report all of that to their investors. And that food is purchased by county through our vouchers, basically. Freebies is just a donation, let's just say Frito-Lays or Hot Cheetos, and they said, hey, we had all this that's about to expire. They don't necessarily have to include it in their inventory, so it's classified as a freebie. So those freebies, when they do become available for any entity that wants to go and drop off those items, they then call the food banks in areas around saying, hey, we have freebies distributed to us. It's mostly not days that commodities is being picked up or distributed. It's during different times throughout the month. But it's basically a donation that they're receiving without strings attached, where they can turn around and give it to anybody that's in need with no strings attached. The only thing that I would
They give that to our commodities?
They give it to anybody, they offer it to
They give
anybody.
it to the food bank, because we're under the food bank operator. Well, that's where they give the freebies to. They call our coordinator, which is Maribel Miranda, and Maribel will tell us, we've done it before, we pick up watermelons, fruit, we pick it up when they call us to go get it. And there's times that we deny it because sometimes the food is not as good and visible to give out to the people. It's already rotten and all that. So sometimes Maribel says, you know what, we pick it up, once we see it, it's like, oh my Lord,
So
what can we
what's
do
the
to this?
difference that you're doing?
We don't always pick up. We don't get to know every single time that those freebies become available. And so like with us, because we are in a need for food out there, I'm willing to kind of pick and like select things because there is good stuff and salvageable stuff on sometimes those pallets. It's just depending on if we want to use our resources, which I know that Commissioner Rubaba is head of the department, so she makes a call whether or not, yes, it's worth us to go pick it up or not, and then she,
No, ma'am, I don't make the call. Well, it goes to Maribel, because she's our food coordinator. Maribel will call us, she'll send an email, we go and pick it up. But then there's times that we say, we can't use this. I mean, we've gotten stuff that we can't even use or give out.
As far as to the freebies, we receive an email, and it's like, let's say for example today, they would send me an email right now at 9. Hey, we have this for freebies, send your trucks to pick up, but it has to be picked up by 9 or 10 a.m. So them sending us a freebies email on a daily basis when everyone's already sent, commission's already sent their employees out to go work somewhere, it's kind of hard for us to pick up. When they do send us on freebies, sometimes they will send us with time. Hey, we'll have this available for pickup Thursday or Friday. Those are the freebies that we do send our trucks to go pick up, which are like watermelons, produce, and stuff like that. But when they send us the daily freebies, those are kind of hard to, hey, hey, can you send your guys to go pick up, or Commissioner Talamantes or Commissioner Rubaba or Carmona, because they do send us an email. It's not a daily. We haven't had freebies in a while.
yeah.
We haven't had freebies in a while. The last ones we had, I believe, was probably back when we picked up
Chips, of bunko chips.
chips. It was
Yeah.
chips. That's been months. But we don't always get freebie emails. Freebie emails come randomly. Those come randomly, and then we do get some that just come in. Like if I come in the morning, there's we'll get an email like at 8, 9 in the morning. But they expect us to pick up by 9 or 10, or our truck has to be there by 11. So by the time we gather, people to go pick them up from wherever they're at, to drive to Laredo and get the truck ready, it's just basically out of the time frame that we have allowed to be there to pick up.
So Maribel, so you just decide whether we go pick it up or we don't go pick it up?
Yes, well, whenever we get one that gives us enough ample time to let the commissioners know, hey, we're gonna have this available. Can are your guys able to pick up? Or that's when we go and pick those up.
Okay.
But as far as the daily freebies, we don't get those.
And then under the freebies, judge and commissioners, sometimes they only give us one pallet, let's say one pallet or 2 pallets for Carrizo, which they have 300 people registered. We have 188. Big Bos has 80 residents, 80 registered, more or less. sometimes it's not enough to give out. So in order for us not to cause any problems, we say, you know what, that's not enough. Because people will come.
Yeah, we just get an allocated amount, so let's just say there's a pallet of this available and it's like, hey, this is all they have, do we pick it up? And it's just like, is it worth it to go pick it up and then cause chaos with, everyone, like, why did this pantry get this and why did that pantry get that? So sometimes it's just kind of easier just to say no to avoid those issues. But a lot of the times when we get freebies, it's more like chips or hot, like Takis and things like that that really aren't. When we do get the produce and fruits, that's when we really kind of like jump on those, because those they give us time to pick up those produce boxes. They'll send us like a email ahead of time. But the regular freebies, or sometimes it's not even just, it's not dry goods. Sometimes it's dish soap, or sometimes it's
Clorox. We got Clorox the last time.
Yes.
So establishing, my question is establishing this county supported food pantry and Big Wheels, is that gonna conflict with what commodities is?
So that's what I was saying. I didn't know that you did not decide or did decide. I thought that it was completely up to you whether we picked up them up or we didn't pick them up. The only thing that I do stand corrected, I apologize for that. The only thing that I'm saying is, like, let's just say like those daily freebies become available. The only thing that I'm asking, again, this food pantry would not be connected to anything that we're doing with the commodities over there, the commodities in my office and in my building. But let's just say they do send an email and they say, hey, you know what, freebies are going to be available today, and I have the resources to go pick them up. I want to be able to go and pick them up. And I do understand the sentiment that they're saying that there's not availability for everybody. But at this point, everybody is trying to work together, and all the ministries are trying to work together to make sure that we're covering as much ground as we can. So if I'm around, let's just say on a certain day, and I say, hey, you know what, Maribel, I'll take care of the freebies today, and I'll go pick up the freebies today. They wouldn't come down directly to the county. What would happen is I would bring them down. I would supply both food pantries. So if there was enough, I would be able to help the food pantry in Carrizo, and then I would be able to help the food pantry in Big Wheels. And essentially, we would keep the system going, but it wouldn't affect or compromise any of the other commissioners' daily workload. So it'd just be something that I would be doing, but that would be the only thing that I'm using from the county would be the personnel and the equipment to go pick up and come back and to give the donations to the community.
So who's gonna run the other food pantry? The City of Big Wheels?
Yes, the City of Big Wheels will take responsibility from 8 to 5. They're also going to be providing us
Where is it gonna be at?
at their multi-purpose building. They're going to designate a room, which is going to allow us temporary, permanent places while we're kind of drifting through this.
Just a question. We're not using our 501c3 just to go get that.
No, it has nothing to do.
Because, hold on, I'm sorry. Just to make sure that the 501c3.
Well, you will be using it if you're gonna be using
Because
county equipment.
now we're using county vehicles to go get it. I mean, it would be, I think we would assist more the pantry if, like a coalition, Big Wells, if they have somebody there. Mr. Pereira, if those, the coalition, or let's just say Big Wells has also small coalition or whatever, can we use our county truck to bring their pantries over here? But under their 501c3 or?
I think is it working? Yeah. So basically, you would have to bring back to Commissioner's Court as an item to do anything outside of what's been set up as a norm, because basically, and basically set up a public purpose, because whatever's been set up is already set up, and everything's going through CSA, and that's what the one that is doing it right now, that's where his has to be done. But anything outside of that, yes, you'd have to come back to Commissioner's Court.
I can answer your question.
So what you're
Commissioner.
saying is that every time that she wants to go get a freebie utilizing the county funds, she has county equipment or county employees, she has to come to Commissioner's Court to get that approval.
Well, I think to be set up, then you something outside of what's happening, that has to come back to Commissioner's Court and be set up.
Well, it's not necessarily out of the norm of what's happening. It's just, I don't know how commissioners work out. They said we typically do go get them. The only thing that is different was we be supplying food pantries. And to answer your question about the 501c, I have also spoken with Cycle, and she said that with the coalition, that they would be using theirs. So they would be able to provide a letter to them to say, hey, we received this donation, because through the coalition, they're also going to send us resources to be provided in
The only question I have is, can we
yeah, but the
use
501,
our then we use our equipment to bring it.
But that was
Because we have
something,
to go through the
that
mail.
is something that you would have to set up with the food pantry.
Yeah, I
Because right now,
have,
CSA would be, is, whatever's been established right now has been established. Anything outside of that, then you've got to come
So
back to
essentially,
the court and
you have to
set up
still go
everything.
through Maribel in order for you to get the freebies.
when we still, because she would have to tell me, hey, Commissioner, there's freebies today or there's not freebies today, so we would still be utilizing Maribel. It would just be like, hey, we're not gonna go get them, but if you wanna go get them for the pantry, then it would allow me at that point to be able to go get it.
I'm lost.
But
Is
once
this
you-
gonna be a new pantry for Big Wolves?
Well, that's what I was
That is being
getting at.
established, or this is a what is it?
It's just a new pantry, it's gonna be a designated
So-
location, similar to what the judge is doing here, where you're coming and you're dropping off things, and you're taking it to another site location, which is the thing, that's basically what I wanna do. The only thing, because I don't need the approval of the court to do that, because it's gonna be on city property, city grounds, but what I'm asking for is to be able to use my resources still, to be able to make sure that we're funding both the pantries when they become available.
My thing is, we need to be very careful how we use it because we're elected officials. And I know last time we got away from, they took us off from San Antonio Food Bank because us commissioners were getting involved in it and it was being a conflict because they were using it, some counties were using it for personal gain when it's election time. So I don't want to get in trouble and be involved in doing stuff.
I wasn't gonna classify or name it at anything having to do with the county, it was with the city.
That's what I'm trying to make sure, because if it's the city, then the city should supposed to be the one doing all this.
But we're using the county resources.
But you're only gonna use the truck, aren't you?
Yes, our trucks,
Or what is it that's being used?
So anything outside?
So essentially, I think you're
Anything
gonna
outside the
use the
city
trucks
right
and
now?
your labor, right? Your
Yeah, to
labor.
go get it, but anything aside from that, I mean.
Because I'm trying to understand, because I was confused. Mr. Pereira advised me, that's why I wanted to ask you, because Mr. Pereira advised me that commissioners, judge, we can't get involved with getting the freebies or the commodities. That's why it goes through Maribel, because we got kicked out of the San Antonio Food Bank for that particular reason. And then also in terms of mixing with our commodities, because we're not supposed to be there or something, right?
And actually, they don't frown on the commissioners being involved.
I would say they frown upon it, but it's not against the rules. I believe what I heard that we got kicked out of San Antonio Food Bank because whatever commissioner it was misusing the funds and providing resources. It had nothing to do with the commissioner distributing anything themselves or going out there. Now, do they frown upon it? Yes. What they were notified in training is that we can't go slap a sticker on there, but most definitely if we're in the vicinity being helpful to what's being distributed, they don't necessarily go down too hard on it. Like if you are coming here and saying, oh, Commissioner Talamantes is bringing this and getting this back up, which is not my intent, may I add, I don't care whose name goes on it, I just know that we need resources out there to be available to the people out there.
So my question is,
So then we don't need to use Maribel, because if you're doing it through the Wellness Coalition or the.
I'm
Shade
trying
or
to pull all the
through-
resources
well,
that the county
They're the
has.
ones that are supposed to be calling the food bank and saying, okay, this is a freebie today, or this is what they have, and then they let you know, and if you pick it up, that's up to you, or.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring all the resources together and make sure that we're funding both of them. So if the Dimmit County Coalition is going to be doing what they can to help us, I wanted to make sure that we could do something on our end as well to help everybody that was in need. So most definitely, you're saying it's kind of uncharted territory because there's nobody really taking the reins on it. But if I got to go out there after 5 and do what I have to do, I'm going to do that for my people. But we're trying to pull together all the resources that we have available in this county to make sure that we're covering all the needs. And like I said, Ms. Seipel did tell us that they were going to be able to send us resources over there, but the same I told her in return when we did, and if we did receive these freebies, because again, we're talking about something that hasn't been available for a while and probably won't be available for a minute. So it's a small little thing that we're kind of going back and forth with. I just wanted to be clear and transparent moving forward because I don't want for them to become available and then to say, and there's nothing that Maribel would do outside of what she's currently doing. So if Maribel called and said, hey, freebies became available and she wanted to share that information with me, then it would allow me to go into action. But I do not expect for Maribel to sit there every single day and call, hey, are freebies available? Hey, are freebies available? And then also dispatching for us, like, oh, we're on the way, can you save it? I'm not looking for her to do all that.
that's where we have to tread lightly, and that's where it gets into muddy waters, because if we are gonna be using Maribel, is by using Maribel to get those freebies, you kind of don't want to commingle with this food pantry, Because then she's still a county employee that's giving you information.
That's what I'm trying to get.
Because what I did ask.
Because
JJ
even though, let's just say for instance that, let's just say in theory that you don't use your county men or women or your county equipment to go pick up the freebies, but still having Maribel as the mediator, to give you the information, to give it to the
I don't need to
501.
translate information back that way. All I need from Maribel is the transformation in this way,
But that's
and
still
then we
making,
would contact the
but that's what we're saying, it's still making the muddy waters because she's representing the county. See what I'm saying? And I think that's what we have to tread lightly, is that you're still utilizing Maribel for the information to get to the
To
five.
supply the
And
county
I think that's where
resources.
Commissioner Ruca was saying that the 501c3s are the ones that need to be calling about the freebies, not Maribel giving you the information, because you're still utilizing her as a county employee for that information. And
I
And
can contact the food bank and ask them to email me directly because we have been in contact with them to make sure that we absolutely stay in compliance with them. And I have sent out an email last week. I'm waiting for an email back this week because we've had multiple conversations where they wanted.
can you be emailing them directly? You won't get in trouble?
Nah, they didn't say anything. I asked. I did ask. I
That's
just
what I was
said.
gonna ask, because she's the coordinator.
No, they just told me to email them to see what it was, what were my questions and what was it that I was asking. And then I said, okay, so then I emailed them my questions and I said what I was asking. All it would be was Maribel passing information this way. Now, if Maribel doesn't want to do that, or y'all guys don't want to mix in, not necessarily her not wanting to do that, but if y'all guys don't want to mix it in, I can just simply ask for them to send us or the city of Big Holes an email to let them know, hey, that there are freebies available today. At the end of the day, again, we're getting hung up on something that has not been available for a while and probably won't be available for a good minute. It was just trying to be proactive and making sure.
Well, I'll tell you this much, I commend you for what you're trying to do, but what I'm trying to say on our end is, again, looking at the grand scheme of things, whenever, let's say, for instance, you're saying, you want us to give you the authority to utilize your labor and your equipment to go pick it up, let's say the freebies, and going back to what Commissioner Rubalcaba said and why they did it previously, decided not to do that was, let's say for instance you get 100 bags of Takis, right? You bring it back to Big Wells, whose judgment call is to say we're going to give the 80 Takis to Big Wells that are signed up, so you have 20 left for Asherton, Carrizo, Commissioner. But what I'm saying is that that's where you start running into the problems, because then you're going to have your Asherton individuals, your precinct 2, precinct 1 saying, and then we're gonna run it, I think, we'll have to do a food pantry in Cheto, we'll have to do a food pantry in precinct 2, this kind of food pantry, because obviously there's already commodities. And I think in part from what Mr. Pereira advised me, from what Maribel advised Mr. Pereira, you were trying to prevent from that, correct, or something?
Yeah, but that happens even now, because all the time that we're in Big Wells, they'll say now, they're like, why does Carrizo get produce and we don't get produce? And those are things that I've also discussed with Maribel, like, hey, what about this, what about that? But for you to sit here and say that this county gets this county, this person gets this, it already happens. Like, it's already an ongoing factor.
Judge and commissioners, we pick up on Wednesdays or Tuesdays, and Carrizo picks up on Mondays. Me and Commissioner Talamantes, we pick up on Tuesday. When we show up, sometimes they say, there's freebies, do you want some? So we make sure that we get one pallet for us and one pallet for Big Wells. And then when Big Wells, Carrizo picks up, sometimes they say, hey, we have freebies. They tell us right there and then sometimes. They don't email us, but they tell us there when we're picking up. So he brings either a pallet if it fits in there. If it doesn't, they have to go the next day if it's still available or not. And we pick up for Big Wells and us. Sometimes if we don't have enough, we can bring another pallet for Carrizo, we bring it with us.
So why doesn't she get produce?
So right now, the freebies,
Everybody gets produce,
Yeah.
everybody gets different.
Right now,
The
the-
same, but we get it on different, either Mondays or Tuesdays. when we
The
pick up.
freebies isn't what I was talking about, saying that there's difference. There is a difference in what we're ordering. Maribel, spoke about it. When they run out of something, she has to pick another item of something else. So a lot of the times, yes, you will see on our commodities distribution, not just in the freebies, in the commodities distribution, you will see a difference of distributions depending on the precinct that you're in.
I have one more question. So, right now, we're using CSA. So if we use wellness, does that increase, do we have to set aside additional funding for that? It would be under the same one?
The only additional funding like that would, the county could be, using, it would be fuel, manpower, stuff like that. But like as far as like taking any of the funds that Maribel is in charge of to buy whatever it is, none of that would factor into that.
Commissioner, I'm kind of listening back and forth on everybody's remarks and statements, and I feel like there's somewhat confusion even as we speak. And that's one of the things that I'm kind of afraid of as a court, not just for one of us, but that this may create a little confusion out there with our constituents. Just like you mentioned right now, there's already people saying, how come they get this, how come they get that?
Yeah, so I was confused too.
Oh, it
because
happened, and it's been happening.
But I didn't know that you guys were not getting, if you're saying that you guys are not getting, what you're saying right now is that it's happening right now, that Big Wells doesn't get the same thing that Asherton gets.
We usually,
No,
me and
we
her,
get the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
The orders are always the
Okay,
same.
specific they
I
don't.
don't know what you're saying. that
The
we're
order's
getting
always the same. The only time that it changes by one product or another is whenever Gloria sends me an email saying, hey, Maribel, we're out of stock on this item. Do you want me to replace it with something else? So of course we replace it with something else. Or, we see that whatever's on the list is something that, people around this area are not going to eat. We just leave the order as is and just send what you have. But as far as produce, whenever Asherton or Carrizo get produce, Big Wells gets produce. We all get produce at the same time.
But she's saying no.
No, it's the same time, because Commissioner Rubalcaba's employees go and pick up. And then as far as when we do, like, when they used to do the freebie distribution, that they would bring all those produce boxes, that was only supposed to be only for Carrizo Springs, but we decided to go ahead and split some up to take to Asherton, and we would always take some to Big Wells. So they always receive the freebies that usually should be coming just to one site in Carrizo. But we, to be courteous to Big Wells and to Asherton, we do have them drop off some in Asherton, we have them take some to Big Wells. But
So
produce is always the same.
For clarification, typically, most of the time, me and Commissioner Rubalcaba receive the same amount of items. When I'm talking about it, a difference is, not all the time, because we got Tyson last time, and you didn't get the Tyson pallets, so not all the time. But the difference is, whenever, like, hold on, excuse me, okay, but let me finish, let me finish. So the thing is, usually when Carrizo gets produce, Asherton and Big Wells weren't receiving those. So those is where the difference is. And I wish I could have brought every client from Big Wells with me up here so that they could have said, because that is where I received the most complaints. And that was one of the first complaints that I received coming
The
in.
produce comes every once in a while. We don't get produce
we
like
did ask Maribel,
on the
and I
monthly.
asked Maribel to say, hey, okay, so like if we're not ordering produce, she said that she was on top of it, and she's done a really good job as well, trying to make up and making sure that we're bringing more produce over here. And I guess that's when the time that you started using the Carrizo resources and stuff like that. But typically, yes, there's already a disconnect in what's being distributed in whatever precinct there is, and that's just being honest, transparent with it. There is sometimes, again, last time she ordered Tyson pallets, she didn't want the Tyson pallets, so she sent me the Tyson pallet, which we were extremely grateful for. The people really, really did appreciate being out there. But that was something different.
Because I was not going to have enough for my 188 constituents. So I said, for me not to have enough for having 60, I'd rather give it to her and she can give it out to the people that she has in Big Wells, because it's less than 80 or 90 people.
Okay, so exactly, she didn't have enough of one item to distribute to each client, so she chose to send it to us. We need resources out there in Big Wells, so I guarantee you there wasn't any clients that complained about somebody receiving bacon and another person receiving chicken. Because again, it was like Christmas for them. It was like heaven sent, because we had so many resources provided to the community. I necessarily don't care. I understand where you're coming from, because you have to answer to the people that you're serving. But for us at our end, we didn't mind that we had a difference
We all have to answer to our people.
Well, I know that, but for us on our end, we didn't have a problem with not having a piece of chicken for every single client was on the list. We were so appreciative that there was chicken, that there was bacon, and there was a mix of items that were able to serve and feed the majority of the people that were there. But to sit here and say that we're gonna run into an issue with, oh, Big Wells is getting this, Carrizo is getting this, and Asherton is getting this, when that has been the situation for some time now. And again, that is just being honest, because it's what I've seen, and I can bring every client with me. I would bring every client with me to have this discussion, because we know that that is the case.
I'm sorry, but you're lying.
No.
Commissioner?
We order, she orders for everybody the same.
No.
If I may, before we get up, I mean, I know what you're trying to do, and I applaud you for trying to do extra or as much as you can to
Hold on, give me 1 minute, real quick, because it really does bother me for you to say that I'm lying. When I came in and I asked Maribel, and I asked her specifically, why does Carrizo receive produce and we don't receive any out there? You said because that we were so far apart in counties, Big was in Asherton, and that the food bank didn't necessarily understand that. So when they were funding Dimmit County, they thought that it was going to one centralized location. That Big was in Asherton was added afterwards, so that we're able to pick up resources afterwards. That was the answer that you gave me when I first asked you why Big was didn't receive any produce. But at no point am I sitting up here
I don't
lying.
recall
Please do
that
not get
question or
mistaken.
those answers, but.
Hey, again, I'm reverting what was told to me when I first came.
Produces always come to Carrizo by trailers, and that was basically during COVID. That's when they were bringing the produce. As after COVID, they stopped with the trailers of produce, and then that's when they started calling us every now and then for produce, and that's when your two employees have gone together to go pick up.
So who picks the food that y'all give?
Their drivers.
No, like who chooses what, like you're saying right now?
I do the shopping orders.
I can show you the shopping order so you can see like what's available and what they choose. But yeah, we choose what they bring them.
So you choose,
I
you
choose
get
the
to
orders.
choose what they order.
We, just for the record, just we don't do any order. We don't get involved in choosing what, as Commissioner Uriel and myself. I can speak that, we let Maribel take care of whatever she's gonna order. So just for the record, I'm about Commissioner Uriel and myself are not involved in the ordering.
I'm just asking, I was asking who orders the food because Commissioner Talamantes is shaking her head. You don't, the commissioner?
Oh, I don't know. We don't get to like our secretaries and everything. No, everything goes through Maribel. She's the one that does it. And as I'm saying, giving her all fairness, yes, any concern that I've ever brought to her, she's tried to do her best in her position in her job. The only reason that this started having a conversation was with the freebies, and you saying that you didn't want for Maribel because they would include her in what we're doing, which we don't have to use you. We could use, you know, another person or something. But to sit up here and say that we get the exact same thing every single time as Carrizo does is not a very truthful,
Sure.
But I understand that resources are depleted, and it's just kind of what has to happen. The saying that when you receive a Tyson pallet and you don't have one specific item of each thing for each client, I understand that. I'm still grateful for it. But it's just, there's not going to ever always be enough for the 300 people that we have as clients or neighbors on our list, and that's just something that I try to take into consideration. But again, if this court does not want me to utilize Maribel or the county resources to come and pick up those freebies that could become available, I can do it as myself, as my own employee, you know. I have a pretty big enough car that I can go up there and drive up there and get it myself.
And Commissioner, that's what I was trying to explain right now. I don't know, I know you've done some research, but I just want you to understand, you need to, like you just mentioned, you can do it on your own, and I apologize, but I'm sincerely do. Just be careful, because as elected officials, when we're caught in the middle of a situation like this, you know as well as I do, you're gonna have people that are very grateful for what you're doing, but by the same token, you're gonna have the people that didn't get the product, for example, or didn't like the product, and they start complaining. In this situation, they may fall back on you. I'm just telling you.
I understand that, and I do appreciate that, but to me, it's just that I was elected up here to come and do the best that I could do. So I'm gonna have to take that with that grain of salt, but I definitely will come up here and do and advocate for what I think is the best for the people of Precinct 3 and 6. But most definitely, I do understand where the charter territories that we go into, that they could say, hey, you're just doing this because of election year, which I'm not even up for election. But they could be saying you're doing this because of election year or whatever the reason would be. I just want to make sure that we're providing resources to all the families that are in need.
And I think if you're going to do it on your own, you still would have to go through Commissioner's Court to get it approved.
Because what ends up happening is they start saying the being selective, and it gets just.
It's very selective.
I'm sorry, Commissioner, no, it's not. I'm sorry. I know you're trying to do the best that you can, and I'm glad that you brought it to Commissioner's Court and you put it through Commissioner's Court. I just want to make sure that we do not get in trouble.
Oh yeah.
That we're doing it the right way. Whatever you're trying to do, I applaud you that it's done the right way. If you can use, to me, if you can use somebody else's, like Chamber of Commerce, the wellness, and deal with Big Wells. Big Wells has, you say they have the room and the ability, I don't have a problem, just as long as it's getting done, fine.
Not with the your
But-
department here.
But my thing is, I don't wanna get her in trouble, I don't wanna get us in trouble, because we pick up for these needy people also. And I'm glad, I mean, hopefully by the time we leave here, or the shutdown, and they can get their snacks and all that, I mean, I know there's people that need the food, but I just don't wanna get in trouble.
Oh, no, and that's why most definitely, you didn't see me go put a Facebook post that automatically said, hey, I'm gonna be receiving food. And I've been trying to email and speak to everybody who I thought would have the right answers. I mean, this is why it's on the Commissioner's Court, because exactly that. I didn't just go create a Facebook post and say, hey, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this. I've been trying to do the right channels and make sure that I was respectful for every department that took place. Now, if that came off disrespectful, that wasn't in my intent. But again, I will definitely sit up here and try to advocate for what I think is best.
And I will get with Maribel or the food bank, so they can send, Maribel has our records, that's why, Judge, at the end of the month, we do the records, we input how many people pick up that month, and how many people pick up, and how much we have left.
So all those,
Everything's
record,
everything.
It's paper, yeah, we're supposed to upgrade it into a website form.
But all that is in record, so it'll all be, it all shows who picks up, how many we pick up, how many she orders, what she orders, and what she orders from who.
so people still are applying, they apply with you?
Well, they apply
Well, they
with
apply
me,
with
and then, we have a CE that assists us me with the applications with Commissioner Valerie and Phil Montes as well, which are Patsy and Chris.
I would say too, guys, for so much, I know that it was a little bit confusing up here, and maybe we can just take this as a learning opportunity. The food bank does host conferences that you're able to go and attend to get all the information that you're needing for firsthand.
Well, Maribel had told me
Yeah,
that
and
you couldn't go to those trainings.
Maribel told you couldn't go to the training?
They had told us that the commissioners were not allowed to go. If you do with the food bank for so many years, you're gonna know that it's a bunch of complicated information that's given at different conferences or different sites.
From what
It's
I
always
understood when I
different.
came in as judge, commissioners don't go to the conferences. At least that's what I was.
Well, I did attend one. I seemed welcomed and encouraged. They also seemed very appreciative that there was a commissioner there. I don't know what you've been dealing with, and I will not dare sit up here to say that you've been dealing with this a lot longer. I'm just saying from the last conference that I attended, I was welcome, and it was a lot of information that we got, and it was a lot of great information that we were able to kind of break down. But again, I won't sit up here and tell you that that hasn't always been the case. Because I wasn't here prior to this year, so I don't know necessarily exactly every conference before then. But as of now, like I can tell you, Judge, when I went, it was welcoming, so I think that those conferences are available for the Dimmit Wellness Coalition. Also attended a conference at other as well.
So then the commissioners and judges can go?
I did send an email to ask for permission for Commissioner Belmontes to attend, and they said it was fine. So, because in the past it wasn't, it has never been allowed.
Maribel had advised me already that the
Before,
commissioners
yeah.
and judges weren't allowed to go.
So I did send an email, and it was okay for her to attend.
So then I'm able to move forward, but not use county resources. Is that what you're trying to do?
Sure.
In order, anything outside of what's already been set up, yes, we have to come back to the Commissioner's Court, get authorization.
But I'm here right now to get
And declare the public
authorization.
purpose, and declare public purpose.
Well, I would have to first get a motion, see if there's even a motion. If there's no motion, obviously it dies, but,
One thing I'd like to add real quick is that the Dimmit Coalition, they would help set up something over there.
I
I mean,
think
and they still will.
Dimmit,
But they don't,
Wellness Party.
yeah, Dimmit Wells Program, but they don't send resources to Asherton. They're paused on that right now. So that wouldn't even be a decision based on the county saying, hey, we're not gonna send anything over there. That's them themselves that resources are.
No, I
paused.
understand that. I think the way that this is worded in terms of you're asking the county to support the food pantry in Big Wells utilizing county resources. I think that's where Mr. Pereira was also asking that it gets into muddy waters because of the financial aspect of it, the manpower, the equipment. I just think that
We're still providing a public service to the citizens of the neighbors that do need resources down here. So that's why I thought that it would be acceptable, because we're still providing the resources for public use. But again, if you do not want me to do it, I
will go ahead and call them and see what I can do to work around it and still get what I need for the people out there. But resources, that's what as far as resources intended. But it wouldn't benefit me none to have freebies be available and then have to come back to Commissioner's Court and then ask to go pick them up because they'd be gone by then.
I was gonna ask that, like on the previous, that's a donation, correct?
Yes.
So do you have to present it to Commissioner Court every time you?
Oh, that would be the.
Yeah, but I think you're missing the part. The problem is that for her to go get the freebies, she's asking to use her manpower. So in order for her to do all that, you have to have authority from the court to do that because you're helping a private.
My question, even whether she got, let's just say the authority was there, or it got approved, you have to bring it back to Commissioner's Court every time you.
Correct, because it's a donation.
Because I could do it afterwards, like what we usually do is accept a donation and then come to the Commissioner's Court and say, can I accept the donation of such and such. That could be possible.
Since it's gonna be for the city of Pickles, so the city of Pickles can call a food pantry in Laredo and they can deliver.
No,
But they won't be delivering like on a daily basis,
Yeah.
but maybe like once a week.
I don't think the food pantry is delivering anymore. Everybody has to go and pick up. But they did say like they could help Bagels set up similar to what the county does. It's just that's a little bit more advanced and the city doesn't have the resources to maintain the department as Maribel does. And then that would allow us to have like credit to be able to choose the same way that a commodities does. We just don't have those resources to fund that, and I think that it would take too long to get on the same level that Maribel is at. So again, we are gonna try to fund the pantry ourselves. We're gonna try to get local people to come out and provide, what we can. Definitely neighbors, just trying to help neighbors. The only thing that I wanted to clarify and be transparent was to allow the court what it was I was trying to do and what resources that I plan to use for the county and be upfront of how I felt that in some situations it would crosswire so that way y'all guys would have an answer for anybody that was asking questions about it. Because the last thing that I wanted for them to say was, well, how come this one and this one doesn't? But I've really been trying to do my work. I even asked for Asherton with the Wellness Coalition. That's the only reason that I have that information because I did ask, like, if we did a similar thing in Asherton, how was it that we could do that? And that's when they told us that resources sent that way was paused as of right now, but they will still have a care opening. And to me, I just have to take what I can for the people out there because like I'm telling you, we have a lot of families a lot of people that are coming out and asking for assistance.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm going to go ahead. Is there a motion to authorize Precinct 3 to use county equipment or manpower or resources?
I'll set the motion.
Is there a second?
This is to authorize, so it's not what it says in the agenda item, right?
It
Or we
is.
can reword it?
No,
I can reword it or
Is it the same?
That's the motion is what it is on the agenda.
So it'll be to utilize county resources or?
To utilize any county resources.
I can reword it if you'd like me to.
There's
Yeah, we can.
no second.
She's asking.
I understand. Give me a second. There is no second. This motion dies. Commissioner Talamantes, if you wanted to, I guess maybe get with Mr. Pereira or to have the proper language or to put it on the
Stipulation?
no, because you're not giving proper notice to our constituents. So we can amend agenda items if it's gonna say a certain different little number, but as a whole, if you're gonna completely change what you're asking, the notice part is not there. And so just out of abundance of caution for the legal aspect of it, if you want it to be worded in a different way that you want the motion to be approved a certain way, it has to be, there has to be proper notice. Because I don't know how other way, there's a loophole for us to change the language here, because I think regardless of whatever language you change it to, you're still asking this court to approve for the county to use county equipment or county manpower, exactly, and quite frankly, to be honest with you, I don't know if there's any proper language from the sentiments of this court that you don't get into a gray area, because I mean, as you heard Mr. Pereira too, telling you that you couldn't even do it outside of county.
I just said it so it's uncharted territories that nobody wants to really touch it, but it's okay.
No, I understand what you're saying. It's status quo. It's status quo. Just because it's never been done doesn't mean that it has to be that way or continue to be that way. I just think the way that it needs to be, perhaps maybe worded, I don't know how else you can word it for this court to approve for you to use county manpower or county equipment to go get freebies, because really that's all you're going to get, right, is freebies, from my understanding. To pick up
That would
the
be the only
freebies.
thing that the county would be tied to.
But we cannot pick up the freebies and still go forward, so.
I just don't think so.
What do you mean?
I don't think that you, in order for you to get those, I mean, the county can go get the freebies, but you're asking the county to get the freebies to take them to the Big Wells pantry. So now you're doing work for, county's doing work for a different.
I'm asking the county to allow me to use resources to go and pick up freebies to provide assistance to the 2 food pantries that are in the area that is providing a public service to the community, is what I'm asking you for.
I think you should work for the next agenda.
Oh, I mean, it's gonna be too late by the next agenda, that's what I'm saying, if it doesn't go
But
through
how
here,
is
I
it-
mean, it's
But how
fine.
is it gonna be too late? If your goal and your purpose, don't let the decision of today deter from what you wanna do.
Because I can still go forward and do it
Yes,
without
Commissioner,
using
because
the food
regardless-
bank, is what I'm saying.
Commissioner, don't let the decision of today deter what your plan and goal is. Because you got a no today, doesn't mean you're gonna get a no the next time. If your goal, you sat here earlier and said your goal and your position and why you got voted into office is to do good for your community. If that's your goal, it doesn't matter if the county, federal government gets open today. Still go and fight for your community to get a food pantry. Because the government can open back up,
But I can do food pantry still.
but the next week, something else might come up. There might be a natural disaster, God forbid, in Big Wolves, and you have a food pantry there. Don't let the decision of today deter what your goal is and what your vision is for your constituents in Big Wolves.
That's
Is
what I
what
was
I'm
trying,
saying. So
that's
what
what
you're
I was trying to explain to you.
I
that it's still-
understand that, but you're
It's
s-
still on the agenda for the city meeting. We are still gonna discuss it. It's something that's still gonna move forward in.
I know,
But I don't wanna waste the court's time to sit here and to say to use my county resources or not use my county resources. But I do appreciate your pep talk and encouraging me to continue to pursue it. And I will let you know that I do plan to continue to pursue it the best that I can.
Thank you. 3.5, discussion and appropriate action. Monthly report from Constable Precinct 1, Mr. Rudy Lopez for the month of October 2025.
Morning, Commissioner. Good. Morning. Happy birthday, Constable. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's not your anniversary.
It's his wedding anniversary
No, it's
and his
not.
birthday.
No, it's not. He's just trying to copy me.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion from Commissioner Rubalcaba, second from Commissioner Talamantes. Are there any questions of Constable Lopez? There are no questions. I'll ask for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition?
Yes, we did.
We had, what was your comment?
Nobody
Well,
I didn't hear the motion.
the motion was by Commissioner Rubalcaba and second by Commissioner Talamantes. And all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. 3.6, discussion and appropriate action, approval to purchase 2 light towers using Operation Lone Star FY26, Constable Precinct 1.
Grant funded? Motion to approve.
And just so you know, Commissioner Talamantes, this was a approved fund line item with the governor's office. So I have a motion by Commissioner Talamantes, second by Commissioner Uranda.
I know you said grant funding. Which grant is this?
The OLS Commissioner says Operation Lone Star.
So was there a change to the OLS for this budget amendment? Because I think it's
Yes,
in
I believe-
personnel.
I believe they took care of that.
Because this is from the grant that you applied for and received, correct?
Yes, Commissioner.
He was included in
He was included.
he was included. He didn't apply for it. It was, he was an included line item on
But
the.
it was what was awarded to him, right? Not to like the whole, just making sure.
All
Mr.
in
Lee,
fa-
where can I get a copy of the amendment? Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 3.7, discussion and appropriate action, approval for Peacemaker Tech one ticket writer laptop with mount and accessories, Constable Precinct 1.
That coming out of your budget?
Yes, Commissioner. Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Urenda,
Second.
second by Commissioner Rubalcaba. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you, Constable Lopez.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Judge.
Discussion and appropriate action, monthly report from Constable Precinct 2, Mr. Andres Arambula for the month of October 2025.
May I approach, Judge?
Yes, sir, you can.
Hey, Constable, how are you? Oh, that's okay.
Thank you.
Motion to approve?
Give me 1 second, Commissioner.
Yes, ma'am.
Questions? Other questions? He can have one, it's not a big deal. I'm glad you're looking out for your comments. Are there any questions of Constable Precinct 2? If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Talamantes,
Second.
second by Commissioner Rubalcaba. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
3.9, discussion and appropriate action, monthly report from Constable Precinct 3, Mr. Robert Valderas, Juventino Torres, for the month of October 2025. Morning, Constable.
Good morning. Motion to approve?
Are there any questions? If there are no questions, I have a motion by Commissioner Talamantes,
Second.
second by Commissioner Urenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Any oppositions? Motion carries. 3.10, discussion and appropriate action, approval for Precinct 3 Constable Robert Valderas to attend continuing education classes for constables, February 22nd through 27th in Round Rock, Texas.
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Rubalcaba,
Second.
second by Commissioner Talamantes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 3.11, discussion and appropriate action, approval to purchase and install radio for Unit Constable Precinct 3.
Motion.
Are there any questions?
What are you gonna use?
This is going to be for my unit. The radio I have currently in my unit is an old radio from an old Chevy. They advised me, Mr. Callahan, that it's going to go obsolete with the new system coming into play. So I do have to purchase this, and now I'm not going to have a base radio anymore.
To answer your question, Commissioner Rubalcaba, I believe my distinct understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Constable, that you are utilizing Alvarado emergency lighting?
Yes, ma'am. Everybody else was pretty much overpricing, and our West only installs, they do not purchase items.
Yeah. That's why the dollar amount
Yeah.
is less. I just
Yes,
gotta
ma'am.
make sure. Thank you.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Odena,
Second.
second by Commissioner Rubalcaba. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you,
Thank you.
Constable. 3.12, discussion and appropriate action, monthly report from Constable Precinct 4, Mr. Manuel Rosas for the month of October 2025.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning, Constable. Are there any questions of Constable Rosas' report?
Everything up and running?
Yes.
Motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Talamantes, second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 3.13, discussion and appropriate action, approval to purchase 2 ticket writers with equipment equipment that includes 2 printers, licenses, 2 rugged, handheld, and 2 laptop setups with equipment that also include a 4-year package refresh plan. New laptops every 4 years. Laptop stand, docking station, power supply with warranty, all through Peacemaker Technology for $5,990. That is also an annual subscription, Constable Precinct 4. So let me catch my breath.
Is that in your budget?
Yes, it is.
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Noguera and a second by Commissioner Odena. Are there any other questions? All in favor? Any opposition?
Aye.
I have one opposition. I have Commissioner Salamanca.
It's the same line item as precinct 1, all this detailed on 3.7.
Okay, because the only thing that's catching me is the auto subscription. I don't think that it's wise to engage in an auto subscription for a laptop and everything every 4 years. So
Yes,
you're
so-
saying that it's the same as precinct 1?
3.7, yes.
Okay, then I will recall it back to staying for.
Where's 3.7?
Discussion of appropriate action for approval of peacemaker tech. One
Well, it
temporary
would have
laptop
been
contract.
good for us to know that for 3.7.
Yeah, because the only thing that gets me is the annual subscription. It's like automatically, and I don't think that that's wise for us to do.
Okay,
But I
yeah,
will
it's the
go-
same thing for any ticket writer, it's gonna be an annual subscription for anything, but this is the laptop included with the laptop stand and the warranty.
Okay, no, so the annual subscription I'm okay with, but how you're saying that it's an annual subscription, what I'm taking it for, how you put new laptop every 4 years?
Yes,
So,
as long as we're contracted with Peacemakers, every 4 years, we'll get a new laptop, as long as we're paying this annual subscription. For the ticket writer, laptop stand, and they cover warranty for everything, it's part of it, so it's all inclusive.
so do they take the equipment back once you're done with it in 4 years?
More than likely, I'm guessing so, because we're, some of the.
So I think the best way to go about it, Constable, to address Commissioner Talamanca's concerns is, every time that it comes up for renewal, bring it back up or
Yes.
get it approved, when I get the contract sent to my office so that we can look at the language on it. Sometimes they might throw a little wrench in there that changes the whole contract,
Exactly.
and maybe increase fees. And as you know, we're an ever-changing society that they want to add different fees.
Yeah, that throw range, like you said. And just for information, it's $1,250 for the integration for the Intech system. And they got in contact with John, and it is allowable. After that, it'll be a $300 maintenance fee for every year.
Because the only thing that I would say is like the new laptop, like if we can stop it every 4 years and it still has to like wait for the approval of Commissioner's Court, well then that's a little bit better. It's not on like an automatic renewal. But the only thing that still kind of concerns me a little bit is like the laptop, if they take it back after 4 years and like the sensitive information that could be on that. I would kind of want to look into that.
Exactly.
Can I
Yeah.
ask you a
Hearing that.
question?
But just to be fair, I will go back and for precinct 1, I will
You know, we can, I can recall it so you can abstain or oppose on precinct 1, Commissioner Talamanca, so that you can have the same kind of vote. But, do you have a contract for this? So that we can review and maybe it'll answer.
I know he sent me a letterhead of the computer stuff, so I can email that to you.
I was gonna say, there's no contract because
But it's
this is
just
a
annual.
purchasing order and it comes with a warranty to give a new laptop every 4 years.
Yes.
It's already included,
And
so
the
there's no
price
contract.
the price is stated, so even if they were to throw in, the auditor's office should catch it and not pay it because it's been approved that one price.
Yes.
I mean, they look at, even, Commissioners, so I'm sure, okay.
I would still think that the contract would still need to be provided because with subscription, again, it's automatic subscription. And even if you don't cancel it within a certain amount of time, then we're going to be obligated. If we don't catch it, if the auditor's office isn't catch it, if the judge's office isn't catch it, you're going to automatically renew it every 4 years. So I do think that the contract needs to be provided so that way we can read it. Not saying that we don't want to give you the stuff that you need to make sure that you're in compliance to do your job, but
Yes. No, I agree. I think every year,
yeah.
putting it in the agenda and going forward.
Yeah, and that's one thing, in order to be valid, it would have to have a 30-day or a clause for budget.
I know, but that's why she's asking to look at that contract because we don't have anything in front of us. Thank you, Constable. 3.14, discussion and appropriate action, monthly report from County Extension Agent Ms. Alyssa Cruz for the month of October 2025.
Good morning.
You pull that out.
Yeah, just to be fair, yeah, I don't even think that was me.
So it still stays at the 3 to 1.
Yes, 3 to 1.
Motion to approve. Are there any questions?
additional questions for Ms. Cruz? There are no additional questions. I have a motion by Commissioner Noguera. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Uranda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Mrs. McDaniel, I'm going to recall item number 3.7, discussion and appropriate action, the approval for Peacemaker Tech 1 ticket writer laptop with mount and accessories. We did have a motion by Commissioner Uranda and a second by Commissioner Noguera. It's my distinct understanding there was a unanimous vote on it. However, Commissioner Talamantes has advised me that she is going to oppose that agenda item, so it'll be 3 yes and 1 no. So I will go ahead and read that item 3.7, discussion and approval for Peacemaker Tech 1 ticket writer laptop with mount and accessories. Is your motion still stand, Commissioner Uranda?
Yes, ma'am.
Second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor? Any opposition?
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 3.15. You got Commissioner Talamantes, okay. 3.15, discussion and appropriate action, monthly report from FCH agent, Ms. Carissa Munoz for the month of October 2025.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I just wanted to touch on a little bit about our 4-H food show. We did have our most amount of kids participate this year. We have 40 kids for each workshop. Around 20 of them competed in the county contest, and 10 of them will be advancing to district. So I just wanted to highlight their hard work and their achievement there.
Congratulations.
For our promoting early education quality web series, we did end that in October. It's from January through October. And this was also the most registrations we've had, and it was about 45. So they received continuing education each month, so that was pretty big as well. And we're hoping to have a conference for them, the daycare educators from Uvalde, Maverick, Zavala, Dimmit, Webb County, and I believe Jim Hogg, and a few other counties, and it'll be in Webb County this year in March.
Any questions with that?
Second.
Really quick, just if I can, on discussion, I wanted to thank you and applaud you. I saw that you had the diabetes ended, the diabetes roundtable and educational meetings out of Asherton. And it was really good to see Commissioner Noguera, because we had some of the ladies attend, and I saw one of them this weekend, and she was like, we liked it, and I think one of them was from Catarina as well,
Yes,
correct?
So
She came all the way from Catarina. So I just wanted to applaud you, because I think it's really amazing to see the progression that we're doing here in our county in terms of offering these services to Big Wells, to Asherton, and here in Carrizo. So I saw that it was super neat, and I saw the lady at the festival, and she was like super happy and wanted to send her sentiments to you because you had that event. So I thought that was pretty neat.
there was also conversations about when is the next one, so we're working with our Westlanders to bring another one to Asherton, and so hopefully we'll have, I know it's a little attendance, but it makes a difference because that just helps us keep going. And we had that program in Asherton. We also had a walk and talk in Big Wells, and we had 5 people attend, and we're hoping that as long as we keep having classes, and no matter what kind they are, that we just want to encourage the community members to keep on coming, and hopefully they gain something out of it. But it's pretty exciting to see our numbers like growing and people coming out to all our classes.
I also want to thank y'all, you and Mr. Wood, for doing such a great job keeping this community engaged, from the youth to the elderly. You know, it's great to see people come out and attend y'all's courses, and that fishing.
Oh, yes,
you
yes.
know, I think it's great to go out there and be a part of it and watch the smiles on these kids' faces. I think it's great. Good job.
I do implore the commissioners to try to attend one of the, if she does have again the diabetes, I mean, they cut your salt intake, but the recipe is still really good. I mean, I've gotten addicted to one of them. So they reduce the salt intake in her recipe for diabetes.
That's also important in when you have diabetes.
There you go.
We definitely appreciate you, Ms. Munoz. I would definitely say, I know that you said a small attendance, but you're definitely making a big change in a lot of these individuals' lives, so thank you.
Any other discussion? I'll entertain a motion by Commissioner Odena, is there a second? Second by Commissioner Noguera, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Munoz. 3.16, discussion, and appropriate action, monthly report from the Rodeo Arena Event Coordinator for the month of October 2025.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'm surprised because I'm used to seeing Adriana. She's not here anymore, or
No,
you
she's
moved,
not,
or?
she's not with us anymore.
Oh, okay. So you're not at the
No, ma'am.
42 anymore, okay.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
So,
Motion by Commissioner Noguera, second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor? Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you. Discussion, 3.17, discussion and appropriate action, monthly report from Dimmit County Golf Course for the month of October 2025.
Good morning.
Go ahead, Commissioner. I'm sorry, I was about to ask.
When they use a card, is there an additional fee for using the card?
Yes, it is.
The what, Commissioner?
If they use a credit card?
Oh,
to
card.
pay,
I think you
there's
said
an
card.
additional fee.
I thought you said card.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Commissioner Talamantes,
Second.
second by Commissioner Noguera. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 3.18, discussion and appropriate action on approval for MOU agreement between the Dimmit County Golf Course and Carrizo Springs CISD.
Is everything the same?
Yes, Commissioner, this is.
Is this retroactive to August the 1st?
Yes, this is between the regional commission, and then, upcoming we'll have the participation of the city.
Yes.
And the dollar amount is the same?
For Carrizo?
For Crystal, it stays the same, and Crystal, there's an increase on it.
So,
I have a question really quick, Ms. Jaime. There's somebody's initialed here. Whose is that signature?
It's probably from the school district.
No one?
I don't see that until after you guys get it, so.
that's probably the Rose Pearson, because she's the one that signed it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same, because it's RP, so it's probably.
This signature right here. Superintendent? So am I also supposed to initial there? So there's only one initial. Any questions, other questions? I entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Noguera,
Second.
second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Ms. McDaniel, we do have 3 votes. Just let the record reflect that Commissioner Almontes, I think, stepped out, so she's not voting.
And I noted when.
Yes. Thank you. Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Hyman.
Yes, ma'am.
3.19, discussion and appropriate action, approval for county clerk to canvass results of the November 4, 2025 Texas Constitutional Amendments election on Friday, November 14, 2025 at 10 a.m. at the Dimmit County Historical Courthouse Conference Room and submit official canvass report to the Texas Secretary of State Elections Division.
Actually, it's supposed to be my mistake, for the court.
It's supposed to be for the November 4th.
The court canvasses the results, so you would just read like prop one and the
the for and against.
Do you have that?
And I don't need, yes, I pulled up it's a law report. And then I don't need to ask for a special.
Okay.
If you do it now, I don't.
Yes, that's the way we've done it before. Proposition number 1, for 321, against 84 votes. Public measure title, proposition number 2, for 259, against 144. Proposition number 3, for 244, against 155. Public measure title, proposition number 4, for 295, against 104. Public measure title, proposition number 5, for 277, against 116. Public measure title, proposition number 6, for 216, against 175. Public measure proposition number 7, for 334, against 64. My battery's died. If anybody wants to donate to batteries, these are out there.
Can you try to return ones?
Proposition number 7, I'll just speak louder, for 334 votes, against 64. Public measure title, proposition number 8, for 216 votes, against 175. Public measure title, proposition 7, for 334 votes, against 664. Public measure title, proposition number 8, for 296, against 108.
Judge, sorry, on proposition 7, it's only 64 against.
What did I say? I meant to say 64. Proposition number 9, for 268, against 132. Public measure proposition number 10, for 351, against 55. Public measure proposition number 11, for 299, against 106. Public measure title proposition number 12, for 268, against 137. Public measure title proposition number 13, for 291, against 114. Public measure proposition title number, proposition number 12, excuse me. You have proposition 12 twice. I think you print it twice. It's
Yeah,
supposed to be
13.
Yes, but it got printed twice. So I'm gonna redact that. It's supposed to reflect proposition measure title number 14, for 304, against 100. Public measure title proposition number 15, for 313, against 90. Proposition number 16, for 296, against 107. Proposition 17, for 239, against 160.
I think where the screen double.
I'll entertain a motion. So I got a motion by Commissioner, these are too little. I got a motion by Commissioner Rubalcaba. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Uranda. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Motion carries. 3.20, discussion and appropriate action, approval for County Judge Martha A. Ponce, Commissioners Jose Uranda, Alonso Carmona, Valerie Julissa Talamantes, Valerie Rubalcaba, to attend a continuing education conference for county officials in December in Laredo, Texas.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Uranda.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Talamantes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 3.21, discussion and appropriate action, approval to purchase cybersecurity software IT department. Is there anything that's going to be in particular discussed about a certain office being?
No, but remember the law changed, and now whenever we're discussing anything having to do with IT, it goes into executive session.
Well, not anything to know with IT, only if it's gonna be in terms of,
I don't think that that's correct, Judge. If not, we'll just table it to a little more comfortable time, because it did say that anything pertaining to IT could be done in executive session. But if you need time to look into that new law that came into place, we can go ahead and table.
we can do that just out of the, some time, I mean.
Do you want a table? It's yours.
I would prefer to get this done, but if you want, we can take it.
They're not gonna let you go to executive session.
Is there, that's not correct, Commissioner. Howie, is there anything that, that is pressing in terms of this, you buying the software needs to be expedited, just so us to confirm, or for me to confirm that this particular item doesn't necessarily need to go into executive session?
Yes, it has to do with our current cybersecurity status.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session. I have a motion by Commissioner Noguera. Second by Commissioner Talamantes. All in favor? Any opposition? Motion carries. The time is 11:57 and we are going into executive session. This was Commissioner Talamantes.
Okay, so the reason why we put this was because it's been back and forth as to how many cards, in the past years, we've received turkeys for Thanksgiving from the commodities, from the food bank. This year, with all the shutdowns and the cut of benefits, we're not gonna receive that, so they're, out of courtesy, out of their budget, the food bank has decided to purchase gift cards to give to the neighbors that are registered. So right now, we're transitioning over from just paper to a Weebly database, which is going to be statewide, and it's going to show everybody who receives food bank through the commodities through the food bank. And they have allocated 50 gift cards for Big Wells. They have allocated 110 for Asherton, and that's going to include Catarina and Carrizo Hill, and then 200 for Carrizo.
How many for Asherton?
110
gift cards.
Gift cards.
And how many for Carrizo?
200.
And how many for Big Wells?
50.
Okay.
I spoke with JJ this morning. He said they are not ready yet. They're still working on the Weebly system. And they're also having to cross-reference the information because now the Dimmit Wellness Program is no longer just the pantry. They're also now converted and distribute TFAP, which is the food from the food bank. So with that said, he has to cross-reference all of the applications that are in through Dimmit Wellness and all those that are through the county pantry sites. So they will be removing them, and they're gonna leave, if we have a duplicate.
So if these, Ms. Miranda, if these are the numbers that they give you, why do we have to allocate?
It's just to make everyone aware that the numbers don't come from my office, they come from Laredo. They come from the food bank. So not everyone's going to receive, as in the previous, you see, I turned in the 2023, when we received turkeys, the numbers that we received then was 245, Catarina and Ashton was 190, Big Wells was 65. Last year, the numbers were for Carrizo, they increased to 250. Asherton, 160. And Big Wells received 70 holiday kits. So it's just to let you know that not everyone receives. These numbers are allocated by the monthly reports that we turn in on a monthly basis throughout the year. He did say if for whatever reason we wanted to give the difference from one site to another site, it is possible, but the only people that are going to be receiving these cards will be those that transfer into the database of Weebly. We did get all that information from the site, and we submitted it. So for whatever reason, they just say my name was missing date of birth or was missing a phone number, he cleaned out the database that was submitted to him, and that person will not be on the weekly database. But they will still be eligible to receive the regular commodities, just not the card.
So out of my 188, or how many do I have registered? More or less
One
188?
is about 180,
So we're only getting 110.
110. And that's to include Ashton, Catarina, and Carrizo Hill.
So you don't really need a action on this, it's just more information?
Yes, just information as to why the numbers are allocated and what's been given out in the past years.
How many are we getting?
Carrizo's getting 200,
200.
Ashton's
But I do have
110, and Bell's is getting 50.
I wanted to propose, since the cards aren't ready, and I know that we distribute this week, he said that he's trying to get everything ready by next week, but they will going to be delivering them themselves. If we wanted to change the commodity distribution to the following week, just to avoid confusion, to bringing back just those, because if we put it out there on social media that there's going to be an additional TFAP distribution next week, aside from this week, we're going to have everybody who's registered on commodities come through thinking that they're going to be eligible for the gift card. And the gift card will only be for those who are on the weekly system by then.
Can we make invitations and pass them out when we do commodities to the people that are eligible?
We won't get the list from Mr. JJ. I don't think he's out today, and then he will be out tomorrow. So he doesn't think that he can have that list ready for me or the cards ready and the data ready by Thursday or Friday, he said.
They did also tell us too that we could raise money to try and supplement the rest. Or we can accept a donation to kind of make sure that everybody gets going. But there's a lot of organizations that are making sure that we work with each other to make sure that everybody gets some resources for Thanksgiving. I don't really see that necessary, honestly.
Also, just for clarification, we do get precinct 6 people in our
In your 200.
200, yes.
So it's not only precinct 1 and 2?
Yes,
It's
we get
Carrizo,
Espantosa,
precinct 6.
and we
that
get them from Brundage.
So there won't be no confusion that why not big, I'm with Big Wells and all this. We, in Carrizo.
Yeah, now they'll be on the Weebly system, so either they're going to be registered through Big Wells or on the site on Big Wells or assigned to Asherton or to Carrizo.
I was about to say, based on their address and what their address reads, that's where they're assigned to pick up. So Commissioner Carmona is correct. You have people that come in from Brundage that have been receiving those assistance for some years now, but because their address says Carrizo Springs or Brundage, it classifies them with that precinct.
Okay, not everybody
So,
gets, we get not only 1 and 2.
So, there's no action to be taken, this is just what they're gonna get?
Just information.
It's just information.
Thank you, I really appreciate all of you.
Thank you. Thank you. 4.1, discussion and appropriate action, approval to purchase Motorola mobile radio APX 8500 under grant 3045010.
That's through Stone Garden, Judge. It'll be for the mobile command center.
Any questions? Question?
Yes, your connectivity, is it gonna help also, like, whenever systems go down, is it gonna give you like an extra cell tower?
On
Your
this
mobile-
one?
Yeah, your mobile radio.
Oh, no, it's just a regular mobile radio. It's gonna be in the command center. Like, say we have to utilize a command center, we can have a dispatcher actually inside their dispatcher from the command center.
You had the motion to approve?
You have a motion, Commissioner?
Yes. So
I
moved.
have a motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona,
Second.
second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? We have one abstention, Commissioner Odena stepped out. 4.2, discussion and appropriate action, approval to purchase 3 2024 PPV Chevy Tahoe's equipment from Parkway Chevrolet under the OLS grant 4375904.
This one also, we brought it back, it was approved the last one, but I believe we have it on the agenda to be members of the Goodbye Board. Some different items.
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Alonso,
Is grant funded, right?
Yes, grant funding, OLS.
Second.
second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor?
I have a question, Judge.
Mande.
Do we approve it now or we approve it when we approve 5.2? So it doesn't.
No, we're gonna approve the purchase of them already, and then we're just approving for, good guys or good, to be on here as a cooperative company as well.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 4.3, discussion and appropriate action approved for Deputy Vargas to attend the FRM the trainer class November 21st to the 23rd in Bandera.
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Noguera,
Second.
second by Commissioner Alonso Carmona. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 4.4, discussion and appropriate action. Approval to purchase 4 generic mobile portable tower LED light towers with manual hitch under OLS FY26 grant 4375904.
There's also equipment awarded through OLS grant.
So moved.
I got a motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona,
Second.
second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 4.5, discussion and appropriate action to purchase a Can-Am Outlander Max 1000R with ATV responder package under OLS FY26 4375909. 904, excuse me.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Noguera,
Second.
second by Commissioner Alonso Carmona. Any discussion?
It's a heat, like a
The what?
heat camera?
No, this
It's
one,
an
the
ATV.
ATV. We have put in for it and got awarded. The next one is the thermal imaging, the one with the heat beacon.
Like heat,
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 4.6, appropriate action approval to purchase 5 thermal imaging cameras from Global Testify under OLS FY26 grant 4375904.
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona,
Second.
second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Discussion and appropriate action approval to purchase a 2026 Chevrolet Silverado HD Crew Cab from Sames under OLS FY 2026 grant 437509.
Sames is also tips. This will be used to pull the command center and the mobile board if needed.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona,
Second.
second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 4.8, jail status.
Good morning. I table 9, it's an exclusion.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion table.
Motion to table by Commissioner Alonso Carmona, second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 4.9, excuse me, discussion and appropriate action, sheriff's report.
Should have that one.
Yes, we got it here, Sheriff. Thank you very much. Are there questions of the sheriff's report?
Judge, this has to do is, I don't know, with the sheriff, with the report, but sheriff, under the OLS or us Operation Stone Garden, is there anywhere in the line where you can buy some drones or anything like that?
Drones, they won't let us buy unless we actually have an aviation already. I try, but I want to try see if I can, through the forfeiture account, should be able to get one.
You gotta be certified through FAA to be able to handle the drones, and you actually have to go to school and you technically get certified as a pilot. That's how those work.
They usually have them here in Uvalde. I'm waiting for it to open up on that one.
Correct. Any other questions of the sheriff's report?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona, second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 5.1, discussion, thank you, Sheriff. 5.1, discussion and appropriate action, approval of LEP compliance policy due to grant findings, county treasurer.
No action.
No action. 5.2, discussion and appropriate action, approval for Dimmit County to become member of the Goodbye Purchasing Cooperative. This is the item Commissioner Noguera in regards to allowing Dimmit County and myself, the judge, and the commissioner, Mr. Pereira, to be part of the Goodbye program, which is similar to the buy board and tips for equipment for the sheriff's office. Motion by Commissioner Noguera, second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 5.3, discussion and appropriate action, budget adjustment number 3 between general administration to miscellaneous to insurance for the insurance rates. I have a motion?
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 5.4 is the claim docket in the general fund. It's $670,708.03. Dimmit County Airport, Mark. Do y'all hear that?
What's me tapping, I'm sorry.
Dimmit County Airport, $1,289.75. Dimmit County Golf Course, $4,177.27. Law Library Fund, $11.44. Courthouse Security, $75.58. Technology, $101.16. Records Management Clerk, $14.27. Utilities, $18,623.76. Rodeo Arena, $100. Operation Lone Star 2022, $488.73. Dimmit County Payroll, $576,153.05. Tax Note Series 2023, $392.28. Interest and sinking, $22.79. Border Patrol Settlement, $809.92. COs 2017, $1.06. COs 2018, $43,059.71. COs 2019, $16.87. COs 2020, 76 cents. COs 2021, $46.81. COs 2022, $6,961.43 for a grand total of $1,323,054.67.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona. Is there a second? Sorry, second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor? Any opposition? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to recess and adjourn. No, I'm gonna have Mr. Kimber look at it.
Motion to adjourn.
Are we gonna bring back?
Motion to adjourn by Commissioner Alonso Carmona.
That, no, whatever, we didn't bring back, the Dell, for Mr. Pereira.
On the what?
The Dell. We said we were gonna call,
Oh,
table
you
it.
asked to have it tabled. That is item number
We have to take a
3.22, discussion and appropriate action to reopen. Is there a motion to open 3.22, approval to purchase Dell servers to replace the current active server? I have a motion by Commissioner Noguera, one by Commissioner Talamantes. All in favor? Any opposition? Motion carries. Mr. Pereira, real quick on this item. The IT department is asking to purchase several servers that exceed the amount of $100,000. I think it might, I don't know what's the total, Commissioner Talamantes, a little bit over $300,000?
About. They're broken up.
And the question was that I had in regards to, because of the number being astronomical, since we hadn't budget that, and Commissioner Talamantes did advise the court that she
They are-
apologized for not including it when we had budget. So my question is I had requested to table the item to give us more time to see where we would find money funds to allocate that. I know Commissioner Noguera also agreed to give up some of her steel money for that. The other question was in regards to whether or not they were buy board or we need. Commissioner Carmona had said because of the fact that it's over $100,000. So with that being said, I'm still going to respectfully request to ask for additional time to get all those answers in order, but Commissioner Talamantes wanted to see if we could make a decision on that today.
So, yes, you're adding, if you add it all up together, it's over 50,000. But he's separated it per location, because you can do one location and then hold on.
No, it's all together.
It's aggregate because it's
all together.
Yes, from the same.
He's saying that he can bring each one.
No, I understand, Commissioner, but it's still an aggregate amount that's going to go to that vendor for the same services.
Yeah, so if you bought 50,000 and you add additional 50,000, you add additional 50,000, the last 50,000 would have to go up for bid. So it's aggregate in a year.
But I thought as long as one item didn't exceed the amount, then it's able to do it, because even though it's purchasing is all run through one entity, like each item is not equivalent to the.
How did you do? You're doing 100,000, because we would have to close it up. But going forward, you go over the 100,000, then the next purchase would have to go out for bid. It's not like.
But it is
If it's fiber, then there's no problem. The problem is you don't have funding also.
See, the funding, okay, yes, then I can understand that, the funding, but not to say that you need the,
But if it's fiber, then there's no issue.
I have a question.
If you had a budget.
If it benefits the whole county, can we use it, can we pay through other expenses under miscellaneous? You guys put $1 million there.
You would have to budget. You would have to bring back a budget.
but if there's already budgeted for miscellaneous is what she's telling me.
No, no, it has to go back.
Because we have to do it.
You have
I mean,
budget.
well, we could go, put it back in Commissioner's Court.
Yes, you would have to do a budget amendment. What's the total amount?
That's what I was gonna ask,
What's the
because
total?
the total that I got is 70,000, but I just wanna make
No.
sure if it's financed, because it has two different amounts.
Just
You're telling us no. He's
Yeah.
asking for it to be
Because
financed.
it's the rate
How
of the
much?
financed amount.
321,000.
That's the financed amount, so I just wanted to make sure it was two different
I think
amounts.
Mr. Castañeda had asked for it to be financed.
He said that there, yeah, there was financing options.
I saw the huge amount it was, and I thought the finance would be a
Yeah.
better option.
So we wouldn't have to be trying to find all the money up front.
Yeah. They would follow somebody's budget.
So he gave you two options, is what he did. And I was about to say, two of these proposals are for the same server.
Yeah, so they're just two different options, different types of hardware.
So if they're adding up all these amounts, that's not correct.
If, so they would add either or the first two options, and then the second and third would be,
So how much is total? Just outright purchase?
The total if it's not financed.
Yeah.
How much is the total if we don't finance it, Mr. Castañeda?
it would be that 105.
105,000 if it's not financed. If it's financed, it's 300. And what did you say, Commissioner?
No.
321,000.
That's up to the first option. Would be,
Oh, for your first option is 105,000.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So this is total.
If you look right here, this says sheriff's office.
I saw that.
And then this one here says maintenance server. So those two are option A, option B, and then you have these two right here, which is two different locations. But since there's all different software and hardware, that's why it's divided. So you're looking at,
If we got it this today, it'll probably be done by January.
So what's the total?
I would say, Javi, the total, not like everything. Pick one, option A or option B. Can I ask though, why wouldn't we be able to use a miscellaneous fund though, if it's already budgeted? Why wouldn't we be able to use a miscellaneous fund line item if it's already budgeted for this year? If this would be considered like a miscellaneous?
I said you have to come back with a budget amendment taken out, so we just put it into purchases and
So then I get to get money out of miscellaneous, we couldn't just pay it from the miscellaneous line item? Why would it need to be transferred into
because
to
it's coming
that?
out of a different department.
$180,000?
183.
Oh, 83,000. So I'm gonna, again, Commissioner Talamantes, respectfully request this court to table item to give you the opportunity to get all your affairs in order with Mr. Pereira, so that you can bring it back to the agenda, so that we can vote on it, how we need to vote. Motion to table by Commissioner Odena, second by Commissioner Alonso Carmona. All in favor? Any opposition? Motion carries. And I had a motion to recess and adjourn the regular meeting by Commissioner Alonso Carmona. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor? Any opposition? Motion carries. At this time, Ms. McDaniel, the time is 12:43, and I am calling the Public Facilities meeting to order. Let the record reflect that there is a quorum, all parties are present. 1.3, approval of minutes, regular meeting October 27th, 2025, excuse me. Is there a motion? I have a motion by Commissioner Odena.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor? Any opposition? Motion carries. 2.1, discussion and appropriate action, new business. If there is no new business, there is no action. 3.1, claim docket, $32,257.07 for the public safety. Motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor? Any opposition? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to recess and adjourn the public facilities meeting. Motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona, second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor? Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting has ended.